and welcome to today's episode of Between the Germs. I'm your host, Daniela Cannon, and today we are visited by our guests, CK and JFK, who are here to tell us a little bit about the serious and life-threatening condition called Addison's disease. Well, JFK, why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Hello, Daniela Cannon. Thanks for having me. Addison's disease, also known as primary adrenal insufficiency, caused by damage to the adrenal glands. These are the glands located above the kidneys. When damaged, they produce too little cortisol and too little aldosterone, which can lead to serious other health complications.
Wow, sounds pretty serious. So tell me, CK, how'd you know something was wrong?
Over the past 4 months, I began feeling really weak and tired, and I started to lose some weight. It continued to get worse until I felt that I needed help. The strangest thing, though, was the issues I was having with my skin. I was getting really tan, and even though I wasn't going outside, and my skin was becoming increasingly warm and dry, and my hair was starting to get thinner. I didn't like that as much as the tan, which was really nice, and I lost my appetite but was craving salt all the time. But I was too nauseous to eat. But the worst was the fatigue. I passed out once.
Wow, those are some unique effects. JFK, can you tell us what other symptoms people should look out for with Addison's disease?
Yeah, you want to look out for the issues like the ones that CK mentioned, like the extreme fatigue, weight loss, decreased appetite, darkening of the skin, weird salt cravings, body hair loss, nasal and other GI issues. Some other things you want to look out for are fainting caused by low blood pressure and low blood sugar. Look out for abnormal abdominal pain, joint pain, depression, and other behavioral symptoms, and even sexual dysfunction in women.
Thank you, JFK. That was very informative. Can you tell us a little bit about the comorbidities? I know that some illnesses intermingle.
Honestly, what isn't a comorbidity with this thing? Addison's disease can lead to acute adrenal failure, which is called an Addisonian crisis, hypokalemia, hyponatremia, Hashimoto's disease, primary atrophic hypothyroidism, type 1 diabetes, hypogonadism, and primary ovarian failure, as well as type 1 or 2 polyglandular autoimmune syndrome and parathyroidism.
Sounds like there are many conditions that tie into this illness. Does that mean it affects a lot of people?
Actually, no. Addison's disease is very rare and affects only about 1 in 100,000 people. CK and I are the unlucky winners.
Wow, that's really interesting. What does rehabilitation look like for you?
Rehabilitation includes being put on several different medications. These medications include hormone supplements like hydrocortisone or Cortef, prednisone to increase the cortisol levels, and fludrocortisone acetate to replace the missing aldosterone. Depending on your condition, you may also be put onto medications for blood pressure, blood sugar, and for sodium levels. With this disease, you will need to be put on a strict diet and need to consume foods that are high in sodium and sometimes glucose. This is often paired with an exercise regimen. Exercise is super crucial because it puts the body through stress, causing a fluctuation and balance of the hormones. It also counteracts the weight gain that is caused by the steroids and helps with fatigue.
On the other side, there are some slight risks to exercising with Addison's disease. Exercising can lower already too low sodium levels, so it's important to increase salt intake before any vigorous exercise, especially if it's hot outside. It can also increase fatigue levels if energy expenditure gets too high. This means exercise must be highly monitored. Many patients also suffer from high blood pressure, which is also something to be wary of.
Sounds like there are many factors that come into play. Well, you heard it here, folks. Addison's disease is a serious and life-threatening disorder of the adrenal glands. It causes severe fatigue, low blood sugar, pain, and a variety of other symptoms, and exercise is important for managing hormones. Thanks for coming in on today's episode and telling us about this. I hope everyone enjoyed viewing this at home on today's episode of Between the Germs. And again, I'm your host, Daniela Cannon, and don't forget today's message.
You are not salty, it's just Addison's disease. Sorry, JFK.